What's your overall thoughts on the exhibit?
I think it's fantastic. It's I knew that they were putting it together, and I heard when it opened, and we thought it was important to get the players up here and let them see it, because the thing that they'll realize, and sometimes it's hard to understand stuff when you're younger, is that they're a part of this. They're a part of the history of the program, and I think it's important. We talk about it a lot. We talk about the tradition. We talk about the legacy, and we try to encourage players to come back, and so we have a lot of former players that practice throughout the year. But I think it's important for them just to see some of the pieces of the program from over the years. I think this is a fantastic way to just show them a little bit about the history of the program.
Did you have a specific favorite part of this exhibit?
Well, I got several. I was obviously in the state during the Peach Bowl run, and that season back in '91, '92, and I have a couple of friends that played on that team, and so that year's pretty significant to me. And then Clarence Stasevich, former coach here, did a phenomenal job with the program. He was the head coach at Lenoir-Rhyne University before he came to East Carolina, and of course my career as a college head coach started at Lenoir-Rhyne. And so Coach Stasevich, his picture hung behind my desk at LR. So it's kind of neat for me to see some pieces from his time here. But lots of pieces from throughout the history of the program stand out to me.
A lot of players are watching the Marshall game
Yeah.
footage, and that'll be y'all's home opener.
Yeah.
Can you speak to the significance of that and that part of the exhibit?
Well, I think that's a tragic event, but an important part of the history of that rivalry right there. And when we played at Marshall in '21, I got to meet a couple of players and equipment manager that happened to not be on the plane that night, and they were getting together with some former ECU players that played in that game. And so I think for anyone that was around then, I think this is an important matchup, an important part of history, and I think it's something that will always be an important part of East Carolina and Marshall.
Coach, was this kind of a trip down memory lane for you? Is that because I see you kind of taking some stuff in a little longer than others?
Yeah, well, it's at the end of the day, I'm a part of the history of East Carolina football also, and so just reading about a couple of the things that happened over the years, and some of the big moments, championships, bowl games, seeing some of the faces, and some of the people that I know, and things that I've heard about. I think it's a neat way to display everything.
Do you think the players will kind of, for lack of a better term, when they play, have an even deeper understanding of the shoulders they stand on?
Well, I think it helps. I mean, I talk about it a lot, but seeing some of the achievements throughout the history of the program, and we talk about the passion of Pirate Nation, but after seeing this, we'll talk about this for the next couple of days, just some of the things they saw up here today, and just kind of share with them, some of my thoughts on it.
Now, this all has to do with the history of ECU football.
Right.
What does this mean for the future of ECU football?
Well, I mean, every day we're creating history, and the Michigan game, that'll be a part of the history of ECU football. The 2023 season will, and so that's why I was saying earlier, our players, they're going to be a part of this display. Holton, his picture over there, and talking about his career here, he was a big part of our last 4 years. But the players that are on our roster right now, they're going to be a big part of the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years of the program.
I heard some of the players joking. They saw some pictures of Coach Shanks. They were looking for his memorial, but I think it was also fun for them to see some of their former coaches that are still here.
Yeah, I mean, Shank's been here several times and a big part of the history of Pirate football, and I'm sure this is very important to him also. But the O-linemen, they're still close with Shank, and he's around them every day still, and so they'll probably rib him a little bit. But I do think there's a lot of respect in what he has done in his career.